After a 1-5 start, the Chiefs' winning streak en route to the playoffs in 2015 was a historical feat that no fan will soon forget. In 2016, the Panthers started the season with that same 1-5 record, and at the time of this Week 10 matchup, had looked at that Chiefs team as inspiration. The Panthers had won back-to-back games and would need to beat the Chiefs if they were to repeat history. But the Chiefs are rolling, entering the game at 6-2 and in the AFC West driver's seat. Two teams with a very unique tie, and something would have to give in Carolina.
Today's opponent, the defending NFC champion Carolina Panthers. The Panthers' march to the Super Bowl last year was fueled by an NFL-leading plus 20 in the takeaway giveaway stat. But this year, the Chiefs lead the category. They are plus 12.
Yeah, we got to set the tone early. Everything fast, everything physical. Don't think about it too much. Make the play. Just make the play.
Turnovers are always important, especially when you're on the road. The Chiefs need to come out of here at least +1 today to have a good chance and get the win.
The NFL MVP of a year ago, Cam Newton, is under center. Play action fake, and here comes Cam Newton on the near side. Chiefs are fooled, 40, 45, 50, and Cam Newton looks like his Heisman Trophy year at Auburn. And the Chiefs go to sleep on a 28-yard boot on 3rd and 1.
Newton has plenty of time, fires it to the sideline, and it's complete. Ted Ginn Jr. Newton will keep it. Newton weaving through traffic.
Newton led the Panthers' offense with ease throughout the first half, spraying the ball out and keeping the Chiefs' defense guessing. He even dared to go where few quarterbacks had gone thus far in 2016. Marcus Peters' general direction.
Ricochet and nearly intercepted Marcus Peters, first man over there for Kansas City.
By Week 10, of cornerbacks league-wide who played at least 75% of defensive snaps, only 5 had been targeted less often than Peters. But Newton sought out his open receivers, even with Peters in close proximity.
On a 2nd and 20, Newton standing tall in the pocket, throws it, caught along the sideline by Ed Dixon. Jumping the route was Marcus Peters.
They challenged us, as we know they would, but for the most part, we had our opportunities.
Tosses it, Kelvin Benjamin.
The Panthers are one of the best goal-to-go offensive teams in the NFL because of Cam Newton, and that's just this play. He runs the ball, dives into the Chiefs' defense, and takes 2 defenders all the way into the end zone.
But look at the desire here and the athletic ability to roll over the top of Ron Parker to break the plane and get in the end zone.
Cam Newton's offense was running like a well-oiled machine. Meanwhile, the Chiefs' offense struggled to gain momentum early on. A rare interception from Alex Smith ended his first drive abruptly.
Throwing down for Tyreek Hill. The pass is intercepted at the 5. The Chiefs went a month without turning it over. On this first drive of this game, they throw an interception trying to go to Tyreek Hill deep.
While narrowly missed connections halted ensuing drives.
Takes a shot downfield. Smith tried to drop it in the bucket to Albert Wilson.
Spencer Ware, they fake a handoff to him. Now they throw over the middle. Kelsey drops the ball on a throw that was at his left knee. Chiefs on 3 possessions. Interception, 3 and out, 3 and out.
They feed off turnovers. They feed off mistakes. Certainly, I think in the first half, we would have loved to get them a rhythm sooner.
We thought we were off. Not as much what they were doing as much as we were just off a tick. And if we did a couple things, we'd be okay.
Cam Newton, 1st and 10 at the 38 of Kansas City. Chiefs playing zone on the back end. Newton takes a snap, pump fake left. Holds it, still hold it. He's firing long for the end zone. He's got Funchess, and he's caught it. Touchdown. Deep in the end zone. Marcus Peters got back there, but way too late. And the Chiefs have work to do here in Charlotte.
Staring down a 17-point deficit as the half drew to an end, the Chiefs faced a choice on 4th down, near midfield. A conversion could mean points on the board entering halftime, but a failed attempt would give the ball back to Cam Newton, with timeouts in his pocket.
Carolina leading 17-0. The Chiefs are going to roll the roulette wheel here. They have 4th and 2 at the Carolina 45. Counter pitch. Left it goes to Spencer Ware, 40-yard line, and out of bounds at the Carolina 35. A terrific play call.
Smith fakes the ball here and then pitches it to Ware. Really well-designed play.
The Panthers were clogging the middle, and the Chiefs decided to go counter pitch to the near side outside for a gain of 10. So now Santos will have to try a 47-yard field goal. Placement is down by Colquitt, and this kick, a line drive shot, and it's good.
You put something on the board, you go in at halftime, you make some adjustments, and live to fight in the second half.
So, BJ, that was not the prettiest of first halves for the Chiefs.
That wasn't. That was all Carolina Panthers. Chiefs offense had just 110 yards total, while the Panthers had 225, and it wasn't just a few big plays here or there that skewed those numbers. Panthers actually had 6 different plays that went for 10 yards or more. It's a big reason that they were leading 17-3. But Pete, what we learned about this Chiefs team, even going all the way back to the Week 1 game against San Diego, doesn't matter how far they're down, they're going to keep fighting, they're going to work their way back, and ultimately that's what we would see from these guys late in the game.
Yeah, the defense would be tested again in the second half. We're about to see a very long drive by the Carolina Panthers.
If there's one defensive drive you can point to that says, like, this shows the mental makeup of this defense and of a Bob Sutton group that has that bend but don't break mentality, that they're not in until they're in, that was manifested on this drive. It went 20 plays there, and ultimately it was Dee Ford and Chris Jones who would step up for the defense in the biggest of situations.
Chiefs Replay is brought to you by Microsoft Surface, official tablet of the NFL. Prime Sport. Get your tickets to the Chiefs tailgate party, presented by Bud Light, at primesport.com/Chiefs. Overland Park Auto Group, home of the Red Friday Rally. And by the University of Kansas Hospital, the official healthcare provider of the Chiefs and the athlete in you. As the second half began, a glance at the scoreboard told a bleak tale for Chiefs fans, whose team was down 14 points on the road to the defending NFC champions, a team that had gone undefeated at home during its 2015 campaign.
The NFL's so competitive. We're going against Ron Rivera and that crew, man. They were at the Super Bowl. You think about that now. They got a good football team.
The Panthers' first possession of the third quarter started at their own 9-yard line, and in many ways resembled their previous scoring drives in the way that Newton and company managed to convert first down after first down. The eventual 20-play drive took over 10 minutes off the clock and was the longest drive in Panthers franchise history. But considering that achievement, the drive did not end as most would have expected.
And this is a demoralizing drive for the Chief defense.
Bob Sutton's defensive unit trying to hold up here.
Long offensive drives like these can break a team's will, oftentimes causing fatigue and frustration for a defense and leaving the offense feeling helpless on the sideline. But the Chiefs' defense had been on its heels a few times in 2016 and had proven to be a bend but don't break unit. No team defended as many 10-play drives in 2016 as the Chiefs, yet Bob Sutton's group finished 3rd in the league in red zone scoring and 7th in points allowed. That kind of resilience became very evident against the Panthers.
Carolina already has a 14-point lead. Newton to run it. Newton trying to get to the edge, takes a shot.
Well played by Wilson and Eric Berry. Outside shoulder, the right tackle, and the Chiefs read it very well and hold him to a 1-yard loss on 8-minute drive. Now Cam Newton to throw. He's in trouble. The Chiefs will sack him back at the 28, the first sack of the game. Dee Ford gets this sack, and it stands.
Glad I was able to get there and had some pretty good rushes throughout the game. That's what we needed, man.
Dee Ford's 10th sack of the season was also his timeliest. Ford had been disruptive throughout the game, pressuring Newton twice, while also registering 2 tackles for loss. On the 18th play of the drive, Ford exploded off the line of scrimmage. When the tackle attempted to engage, Ford used a violent hand slap to shrug the offensive lineman and get into the backfield. Newton appeared to react to the pressure by stepping up in the pocket, but Ford was able to get his arm around Newton's leg and drag him down for a loss of 7 and his career-high 10th sack on the season.
once we get close, we're going to keep closing until we get there. And our focus is zoomed in, and we just play so well at pivotal times of games, man. It's unbelievable.
20th play of the drive for the Panthers. On 3rd and long. Newton thrown down.
Chris Jones came unblocked right in the middle of that Carolina offensive line.
On the following play, Carolina used a split backfield, conceivably in the hopes of double-teaming the Chiefs' outside linebackers and avoiding another costly sack. While blockers appeared to focus on the edge rushers, Chris Jones was left in a one-on-one situation against guard Trey Turner. Jones executed an impressive swim move to the inside, quickly beating his man and dropping Newton for a sack that took the Panthers out of field goal range.
With a quarterback like Cam Newton, with the type of abilities he have, I mean, you got to play gap scheme football. You know, you can't get out of your gaps, because as soon as you get out of your gap, he hit a 30-yard run the first quarter of the game. So we got out of our gaps, and that's what tended to happen. So we came in inside halftime, made some adjustments.
20-play, 51-yard drive, and no points. It took 10 minutes and 8 seconds off the clock.
You know, anytime you have a long drive like that, you don't want to avoid it with no points, and I just have to find ways to get the ball out my hands.
Put ourselves in position, and then we have 2 negative plays. Actually, we had 3 negative plays. We had a run for a minus, and then 2 sacks. Can't do it. Just can't do it. If you do that, you don't give yourself opportunity to win football games.
Our guys hung in there, kept battling, stood tall, man. They never wilted or did any of that stuff. Support each other, offense and defense supporting each other.
Santos, placement is down, the kick is up, and he nailed it. But the Chiefs are still down by 11 points.
And Mitch, maybe as crazy as it might sound, I think scoring that field goal right before half made a big difference psychologically for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Coming up on Chiefs Replay.
He was a possessed man. You just seen it, how he was moving. He was going to score one way or another.
He wills himself like no other. And that's just his mentality. I mean, it's unbelievable.
In Week 10, Eric Berry and Cam Newton were going head-to-head for just the second time in their professional careers.
High school rivals now playing in the NFL, and it's Berry who wins that battle.
But the personal rivalry between them goes much deeper than that. The 2 perennial Pro Bowlers have a competitive history that dates back to their high school days in Georgia.
I've been seeing Eric my whole life.
I think it's definitely a big moment for both of us, just because of where we came from, and just seeing both of us play on a high level and on a big stage. Hopefully we inspire some kids back at home.
Berry's entire career, and undoubtedly his triumphant return to the NFL following a cancer diagnosis in 2014, had been an inspiration not only to the youth of Georgia, but to the entire football community. Throughout the 2016 season, Berry's performance on the field was often an inspiration to his teammates, even when games may have seemed almost out of reach. In Carolina, trailing the Panthers by 11 in the 4th quarter, Berry lit a fire under his entire team.
No doubt that time is of the essence right now. This defense of Kansas City has to deliver.
Ozzie Whitaker, tight slot left side along with Greg Olsen on the near side. Cam Newton to throw. Blitz by Sorensen. Pass is intercepted. Eric Berry at the 40-35. Sorensen's blitz set it up. Berry inside the 20. Stays on his feet, dancing. Still going left. He's got a chance. He's at the 15, angling left. 10 to the 5. A block. And Berry to the left. Front pylon. Touchdown! Kansas City! Eric Berry intercepts his old boyhood friend, Cam Newton, and takes it to the house. A 42-yard interception return for a touchdown. Game on.
On this game-turning play, Carolina enlisted protection on the edges from running back Ozzie Whitaker and tight end Ed Dixon, presumably in anticipation of an edge rush on the 3rd down play. But while the Panthers protected the edge, Bob Sutton called a safety blitz right up the middle by Daniel Sorensen and Ron Parker. The immediate pressure caused Cam Newton to deliver the ball off his back foot, and Berry was ready.
Just me knowing him, I know he misses high and he throws off his back foot, so I just sat and waited and went through my progressions, and once I got the rock, I just wanted to make him miss and make him pay. So
No one fights for extra yards like Eric Berry. If a touchdown return is possible, he'll make it happen. But the odds were stacked against him on this play. Berry appeared to be trapped between the Panthers sideline and 9 offensive players, but that didn't stop him from trying. He spun away from 2 would-be tacklers and was able to reverse field and lay eyes on the far left pylon. At this point, it was a race to the end zone between the 2 Atlanta rivals. Cam, standing at the 8-yard line, was positioned just 35.2 yards away from the pylon. A good head start on Berry, who was more than 47 yards away. Key blocks by Marcus Peters and Daniel Sorensen gave the All-Pro safety just enough room to cross the goal line.
I wasn't going to be denied, man. I just wanted to help my team out, man. Just put our team in a good situation. So
he was a possessed man. You just seen it, how he was moving. He wasn't finna stop. He was gonna score one way or another.
He wills himself like no other. And you saw it when he defeated cancer. You saw it here. And that's just his mentality. I mean, it's unbelievable.
And the Chiefs are right back in the game big time. And at 17-12, the Chiefs will go for 2.
On a 2-point try for KC. Smith throws it right open, Kelsey. Kansas City has sliced the lead to 3.
Chiefs right now showing a lot of moxie, doing a nice job offensively and defensively.
Santos will try from the right hash, a 33-yard field goal. Santos has already hit from 47 and 36. Winchester's the long snapper. Placement is down. The field goal is up, and it's right down the middle. And the Chiefs have tied the game.
And now they've got a chance for a victory.
In search of a 5th consecutive win, the Chiefs needed to make history and complete the largest fourth-quarter comeback in franchise history.
With just 29 seconds and being way backed up, you would anticipate Rivera would say, just take a knee, let's play some extra football.
I mean, I was anticipating they were going to run the football, and I knew we had a good shot. You could go timeout, and get a chance at a return, and maybe you get a shot at a late field goal or something.
1st and 10, Panthers at their own 20, and Newton will throw and caught at the 32-yard line. It is caught by Kelvin Benjamin. Now the ball taken away. The ball is pried out at the end of the play. It's pulled away at the 24-yard line. It was Marcus Peters.
What a turn of events here in Charlotte. Marcus Peters comes away with it, and they are in field goal range.
I took the ball from him. That's all it was. I just took it from him.
And so we stress that so much in practice. And if you look at it close, he kind of juggled it just a bit, and Marcus felt it and went for the rip.
They do it better than any team in the league, taking the ball away. The Eric Berry interception for a touchdown, and now the play by Marcus Peters.
And here comes Cairo Santos.
I just kept telling myself, it's just like practice, just like practice, breathe, take your time, don't rush it.
And all of Brazil holds its breath on a 37-yard attempt. Placement is down. Santos' kick. He lines it up, and that baby is right down the middle. Asuche Ebol, and all of Brazil and the Chiefs Kingdom rejoices with an incredible, improbable victory on the road. 2 big defensive takeaways, and the Chiefs beat the defending NFC champion Carolina Panthers 20-17 to go 7-2 on the season.
So the Chiefs somehow, some way win this game against the Panthers. And BJ, at one point, you could write a loss in the books. This game was over.
Yeah, ESPN actually had in the second half, the Panthers had a 98.1% chance of winning this football game. But, Pete, one thing I'm always going to remember about this game, besides the fact that Marcus Peters just took the ball away from a guy who had 5 inches and like 40 pounds on him, and Kelvin Benjamin, is that with 29 seconds to go in a tie game, going up against a defense that has an identity of taking the ball away, the Panthers still tried to go for the win. They were trying to give Graham Gano, their kicker, a chance to win that game at the end of regulation. And so they weren't just going to kneel the ball, run the ball out. They were going to test guys. And we know when you test the Chiefs defense, a lot of times you're going to come out on the wrong end of that, particularly when you go at number 22. And he's always going to find a way to make plays. Made a huge play in this game, and that is the type of ending that you may never see in an NFL game again.
A 20-17 final for the Chiefs' 7th win on Chiefs Replay.
Chiefs Replay is brought to you by Microsoft Surface. official tablet of the NFL. Prime Sport. Get your tickets to the Chiefs tailgate party, presented by Bud Light, at primesport.com/Chiefs. Overland Park Auto Group, home of the Red Friday Rally. And by the University of Kansas Hospital, the official healthcare provider of the Chiefs, and the athlete in you.